Dr. Maya Rodriguez had been working the night shift at the Space Research Center for 8 years. She was tired, drinking her fourth cup of coffee, when the emergency alarm started ringing at 3:47 in the morning. Her computer screen lit up with red warnings that made her heart race. Not another satellite malfunction, she whispered to herself, grabbing her security badge and running toward the main laboratory. But when Maya reached the lab, she stopped breathing for a moment. There, in the middle of the room, was something that looked like a giant crystal egg, glowing softly with blue and silver light. The air around it felt different, almost electric, making the hair on her arms stand up. The security team was already there, standing far back with confused looks on their faces. Nobody knew what to do. Maya had studied space objects her whole life, but this was nothing like anything in her textbooks. "Dr. Rodriguez, thank goodness you're here," said Captain Johnson, the head of security. "This thing just appeared out of nowhere about 20 minutes ago. Our instruments are going crazy." Maya walked closer, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. The crystal surface was smooth and warm, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Strange symbols floated inside the crystal, moving like living things. "Has anyone tried to communicate with it?" Maya asked. "Communicate? Doc, it's just a rock from space," Johnson replied. But Maya wasn't so sure. Something about this object felt alive, intelligent. She placed her hand near the surface, and immediately the symbols inside began moving faster, swirling in beautiful patterns. Then something incredible happened. The crystal began to crack, not breaking apart, but opening like a flower blooming. In slow motion, steam or mist came out, smelling like rain and something sweet Maya couldn't identify. "Everyone step back," Johnson shouted, but Maya couldn't move. She was mesmerized by what was happening. A figure began to emerge from the crystal. At first, Maya thought it might be a person in some kind of special suit, but as the mist cleared, she realized this was no human being. The creature was tall and graceful, with skin that seemed to glow from within, shifting between pale silver and soft blue colors. Her hair floated around her head like she was underwater, and her eyes were larger than any human's, deep and dark like looking into space itself. "Don't be afraid," the being said, and her voice was unlike anything Maya had ever heard. It was like music and wind and whispers all at once, speaking directly into Maya's mind as much as her ears. The security team raised their weapons, but Maya quickly stepped between them and the mysterious visitor. "Wait, she's trying to communicate," Maya said, her heart pounding with excitement and terror. The being looked at Maya with those incredible eyes, and Maya felt like this creature could see right into her soul. There was something deeply sad in that gaze, something lonely that made Maya's heart ache. "I have traveled so very far," the being continued, her voice carrying emotions that seemed too big for words. "Across distances your kind cannot imagine, through the cold darkness between stars, searching for something I have never known." Maya found her voice, though it came out as barely a whisper. "What are you searching for?" The being stepped fully out of the crystal, moving with a grace that seemed to defy gravity. She was beautiful in a way that wasn't quite human, like looking at the northern lights or a perfect sunset. "I seek understanding," she said. "My people, we have existed for thousands of your years. We have technology beyond your dreams. We have conquered death itself. We can travel between stars as easily as you walk between rooms. But we have lost something precious along the way." "What did you lose?" Maya asked, genuinely curious and no longer afraid. The being looked around the room at all the humans staring at her, then focused back on Maya. "We lost the ability to truly feel, to connect, to experience the warmth of genuine touch, not just physical, but emotional. We became perfect, but empty." Maya felt tears forming in her eyes, though she didn't understand why. There was something so heartbreaking about this powerful being who had traveled across the universe but felt empty inside. "I volunteered to come here," the being continued, "because your species still has what mine has forgotten. You still know how to hope, how to dream, how to ache for something more than mere existence." "What should we call you?" Maya asked. Softly. The being thought for a moment. Your sounds are different from ours. You may call me Zara. It is close enough to my true name. Captain Johnson stepped forward cautiously. Dr. Rodriguez, we need to contact headquarters immediately. This is way above our security level. But Maya was focused entirely on Zara, feeling like she was the first human to make contact with something miraculous. You said you're looking for something you've never known. What exactly? Zara's expression became even sadder, if that was possible. In all my centuries of existence, no being has ever truly touched my heart. We have forgotten how to be vulnerable, how to open ourselves to another. We exist, but we do not live. She paused, looking directly into Maya's eyes. I came here hoping to learn what it means to feel complete, to experience the satisfaction that comes from genuine connection. But I fear I may be too different, too alien for anyone to understand. Maya felt something stirring inside her chest, a mix of compassion and fascination. You're not too different, she said quietly. Loneliness is something humans understand very well. For the first time since emerging from the crystal, Zara's expression softened into something that might have been hope. Will you help me learn? Zara asked. Will you teach me what it means to truly feel alive? Maya looked around the room at the security team, at the blinking computers, at the normal world she had known just an hour ago. Everything was about to change, and somehow she knew her life would never be the same. Yes, Maya said without hesitation. I'll help you. As the first rays of dawn began filtering through the laboratory windows, Maya Rodriguez, a simple space researcher from a small town, found herself becoming humanity's first ambassador to a lonely traveler from the stars. Neither of them knew that this moment would change not just their lives, but the understanding of what it truly means to be alive in a vast, mysterious universe. 3 weeks had passed since Zara's arrival, and the research facility had become something completely different. Maya found herself working longer hours than ever before, not because she had to, but because every moment with Zara revealed something new and amazing. The government had set up a special secure wing just for their interactions. Maya was officially assigned as Zara's primary contact person, which made her both excited and nervous. She had never imagined her quiet life as a space researcher would lead to something so extraordinary. Good morning, Zara, Maya said as she entered the observation room, carrying 2 cups of coffee. She had gotten into the habit of bringing an extra cup, even though Zara didn't drink coffee. Zara was standing by the large window, watching the sunrise. Her skin seemed to glow brighter in the morning light, shifting from silver to soft gold. Maya still couldn't get used to how beautiful and otherworldly Zara looked. Good morning, Maya, Zara replied, turning with that graceful movement that always reminded Maya of water flowing. I have been watching your sunrise. It is different every day, yet always the same. How do you humans find comfort in such patterns? Maya smiled, setting down the coffee cups. I guess we like knowing some things stay constant while others change. It makes us feel secure. Security, Zara repeated the word slowly, as if tasting it. My people eliminated the need for security long ago. We controlled everything, predicted everything. But now I wonder if we lost something important in that process. This was how their conversations usually went. Zara would observe something simple about human life, and it would lead to deep discussions about feelings and experiences. Maya had learned that Zara's people had spent centuries removing what they call inefficiencies from their existence. Pain, uncertainty, surprise, longing, all of these had been considered weaknesses to overcome. Tell me again about this thing you call anticipation, Zara said, sitting down across from Maya. Yesterday you mentioned being excited about today's session. I did not understand this feeling of looking forward to something unknown. Maya thought for a moment, trying to explain something that seemed so natural to her. Well, it's like, imagine you know something good might happen, but you're not sure exactly what or when. Your heart beats a little faster, and you feel this warm, fluttery feeling inside. It's exciting because you don't know exactly what to expect. Zara's large eyes focused intently on Maya's face. Show me, she said simply. Show you what? Show me this anticipation. Help me feel it. Maya felt her cheeks warm up. I'm not sure how to do that. It's not something you can just demonstrate. Then create a situation where I might experience it naturally, Zara suggested. You humans are always talking about surprises. Perhaps you could surprise me with something. Maya found herself smiling. Okay, but that means I can't tell you what it is. You'll have to trust me. Trust, Zara said. And for the first time since Maya had known her, Zara's voice held a slight tremor. My people do not have this concept either. We know, we calculate, we predict. But trust requires believing in something without certainty. Exactly, Maya said. So, do you trust me enough to let me surprise you? Zara was quiet for a long moment, and Maya could see something like fear in those beautiful alien eyes. This is difficult for me. But yes, I will try to trust you. Maya felt a strange flutter in her own chest. Close your eyes. Maya, I do not think, trust me, Maya said. Gently, just close your eyes for a moment. Slowly, Zara closed her eyes. Maya quietly reached into her bag and pulled out something she had brought from home. A small music box her grandmother had given her years ago. She wound it up carefully and set it on the table. The tiny, delicate melody began to play, filling the room with soft, tinkling notes. Maya watched as Zara's eyes flew open, and her whole body seemed to respond to the sound. Her skin began to shimmer more brightly, and she leaned forward as if drawn by the music. What is this? Zara whispered, her voice filled with wonder. It's a music box. My grandmother gave it to me when I was little. I thought you might like to hear music that doesn't come from computers or speakers. Zara reached toward the music box, her fingers hovering just above it. The sounds, they create feelings inside me that I cannot name. Is this what you call beautiful? That's one word for it, Maya said, watching Zara's face transform as she listened. How does it make you feel? Like something inside me is waking up after sleeping for a very long time, Zara said, her voice barely audible. And there is something else, a sensation I have never experienced. What kind of sensation? Zara looked at Maya, and there was something new in her expression. I believe you call it happiness, but it is mixed with sadness somehow. How is this possible? Maya felt tears forming in her eyes. Sometimes the most beautiful things make us feel happy and sad at the same time. It's called being moved by something. Moved. Zara repeated, Yes, I feel moved. But Maya, there is something else happening. While the music played, I found myself thinking not just about the sounds, but about you bringing this to me, about you wanting to share something precious with me. Is this what you meant by anticipation? This warm feeling about what you might show me next. Maya's heart started beating faster. Yes, that's exactly what anticipation feels like. Zara stood up and walked closer to Maya, closer than she had ever come before. I think I am beginning to understand why your species values these experiences. For the first time in centuries, I feel curious about what tomorrow might bring. Not because I need to know, but because I want to discover it with you. The music box finished its song, but neither of them moved to wind it up again. Maya could feel something changing between them, something that went beyond just teaching and learning. Zara, Maya said softly, what you just experienced, that curiosity, that happiness mixed with sadness, that anticipation for tomorrow, that's what it means to feel alive. Zara's skin pulsed with gentle light, and when she spoke, her voice was filled with emotion. Then I have been dead for centuries without knowing it, but now, with you, I think I am finally learning how to live. As the morning sun filled the room with golden light, Maya realized that teaching Zara about human emotions was changing her too. For the first time in her quiet, careful life, she felt truly excited about the unknown future that lay ahead of them both. 2 months had passed since Zara's arrival, and Maya could feel that everything was changing around them. The other researchers at the facility started giving her strange looks in the hallways. Dr. Peterson, the project director, had begun asking more questions about her daily reports. Even Captain Johnson seemed worried about something he wouldn't talk about directly. Maya tried not to think about it too much. Her time with Zara had become the most important part of her day. Every morning, she looked forward to seeing that gentle glow of Zara's skin brighten when she entered the room every evening. She went home thinking about their conversations and wondering what new emotion or experience they would explore together. "You seem troubled today," Zara observed as Maya entered their usual meeting room. She had become surprisingly good at reading human facial expressions. Maya set down her notebook and looked at Zara, who was sitting by the window as always. The afternoon sunlight made her skin shimmer like silver water. "I think the people in charge are getting concerned about our friendship." "Friendship," Zara repeated, and her voice held a warmth that hadn't been there in the early days. "Is that what we have developed?" "I think so," Maya said, sitting down across from her. "Don't you?" Zara was quiet for a moment, looking down at her hands. "Maya, what I feel for you goes beyond what my studies have taught me about human friendship. There's something deeper happening to me, something that frightens and excites me at the same time." Maya felt her heart skip a beat. She had been feeling the same way but hadn't known how to put it into words. "What do you mean?" "When I am not with you, I find myself thinking about you constantly. Not just about our lessons or conversations, but about the way you smile when you explain something new to me, about how patient you are when I struggle to understand human concepts, about how safe I feel in your presence." Maya felt warmth spreading through her chest. "Zara, that sounds like what you humans call caring deeply for someone," Zara finished. "But Maya, this creates a serious problem." "What kind of problem?" Zara stood up and walked to the window, her back to Maya. "Before I left my home world, I was given strict instructions. My people sent me here to study human emotions from a distance, to observe and report back. We were told that getting emotionally involved with humans would compromise the mission and potentially harm both species." Maya felt a cold fear creep into her stomach. "What happens if they find out you've become emotionally involved?" "I do not know," Zara admitted, turning back to face Maya. "No one from my species has ever experienced what I am feeling now. We eliminated these kinds of connections long ago because they were considered dangerous and unpredictable." "But you said your people were dying out because they couldn't connect anymore," Maya said, standing up to move closer to Zara. "Isn't what you're experiencing exactly what they need to learn?" "Perhaps," Zara said, but her voice was uncertain. "Or perhaps they will see it as proof that I have become contaminated by human weakness." Maya felt anger rising in her chest. "Caring about someone isn't weakness, Zara. It's one of the strongest things humans can do." "I am beginning to understand that," Zara said softly. "But Maya, there is something else you must know. Yesterday, I received a communication from my home world. They are concerned about the length of my mission. They expected me to complete my studies and return within your time frame of 3 months. How long has it been now?" "Nearly 3 months, Zara said, and Maya could hear worry in her voice. "They are asking for detailed reports about what I have learned. But how can I explain to them that the most important thing I have discovered cannot be written in a report?" Maya moved even closer, close enough to see the patterns of light that moved beneath Zara's skin. "What's the most important thing you've discovered?" Zara looked directly into Maya's eyes, and Maya felt like she could see straight into this beautiful alien soul. "That existence without connection is not truly living. That vulnerability, though frightening, allows for experiences more beautiful than anything my people's perfect technology could create. And that what I feel when I am with you is worth any risk." Maya felt tears forming in her eyes. "Zara, I feel the same way about you. But this creates an impossible situation," Zara said, reaching out as if to touch Maya's face. Then stopping herself, "My people expect me to return home soon. Your people are becoming suspicious of our growing closeness, and we are caught between 2 worlds, belonging fully to neither." Maya could see the pain in Zara's expression, and it broke her heart. "What if we didn't have to choose? What if there was another way?" "What do you mean?" "I've been thinking about this a lot," Maya said. "Your people sent you here to learn about human connection, right? Well, you've learned it, you've experienced it, but instead of just writing a report about it, what if you could show them What if you could prove that emotional connection makes your species stronger, not weaker? Zara's eyes widened with something that might have been hope. You think they would listen? I don't know, Maya admitted. But I do know that what we've found together is too precious to just throw away because other people are afraid of it. There would be risks, Zara said quietly. Great risks for both of us. The best things in life usually involve some risk, Maya replied. You taught me that when you trusted me with the music box, remember, for the first time in days. Zara smiled. It was a beautiful, radiant expression that made her skin glow brighter. You are suggesting we fight for what we have found together. I'm suggesting we don't give up on something this special without at least trying to protect it. Maya said. Zara finally reached out and gently touched Maya's hand. The contact sent a warm, electric feeling up Maya's arm, and she saw Zara's eyes, widened with surprise and wonder. This feeling, Zara whispered, this is what I have been searching for across the stars. Not just physical sensation, but the emotional connection that makes touch meaningful. Maya squeezed Zara's hand gently. Then we'll find a way to protect it, together. As they stood there, holding hands and looking into each other's eyes, both of them knew that their journey was about to become much more complicated and dangerous. But they also knew that what they had discovered was worth fighting for. Maya knew something was wrong the moment she walked into the facility that morning. Instead of the usual friendly nods from the security guards, she received cold stares and uncomfortable silence. Her badge, which normally gave her access to Zara's wing, beeped red at the security checkpoint. I'm sorry, Dr. Rodriguez, said Officer Thompson, avoiding eye contact. You need to report to Dr. Peterson's office immediately. Maya's heart sank. She had been dreading this moment for weeks, but she had hoped they would have more time. What about my scheduled session with Zara? That's been canceled, Thompson replied. Indefinitely, the walk to Dr. Peterson's office felt like the longest journey of Maya's life. Her mind raced with worry about Zara. Was she okay? Did she know what was happening? Had they already separated them without even giving Maya a chance to say goodbye? Dr. Peterson was waiting for her with two other officials Maya didn't recognize. One was a stern-looking woman in a military uniform, and the other was a man in an expensive suit who looked like he came from some government agency in the capital. Dr. Rodriguez, please sit down, Peterson said, his voice more formal than Maya had ever heard it. This is Colonel Davis from the Air Force, and Mr. Chen from the Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs. Maya sat down, trying to keep her voice steady. What's this about? Colonel Davis opened a thick folder and spread several photographs across the desk. Maya's stomach dropped when she saw they were surveillance photos of her and Zara together, talking, laughing, and in the most recent ones, holding hands. Dr. Rodriguez, Colonel Davis began, we've been monitoring your interactions with the subject, and we're concerned about the nature of your relationship. The subject has a name, Maya said. Unable to keep the anger out of her voice, her name is Zara. Mr. Chen leaned forward. Dr. Rodriguez, you were assigned to study this alien being, not to develop personal feelings for it. Your emotional involvement has compromised the scientific value of this entire project. Compromised it how? Maya asked. Zara has learned more about human emotions in 3 months than we could have taught her in years of cold, clinical observation. That's exactly the problem, Peterson said, looking uncomfortable. She's learned too much. She's become too human-like, too unpredictable. We can no longer guarantee that she won't become dangerous. Maya felt anger rising in her chest. These people had no idea what Zara was really like. They saw her as a threat, instead of the gentle, curious being Maya had come to care for so deeply. Dangerous, Maya said, standing up. Zara's the least dangerous being I've ever met. She's kind, thoughtful, and genuinely wants to understand us. Colonel Davis closed the folder with a sharp snap. Dr. Rodriguez, we've decided to transfer the subject to a more secure facility where it can be studied by researchers who haven't been emotionally compromised. You can't do that, Maya said, her voice rising. Zara isn't some object you can just move around. She's a living being with feelings and rights. It's already been decided, Mr. Chen said coldly. The transfer happens tonight. You're being reassigned to a different project, effective immediately. Maya felt the world spinning around her. I want to see her. I want to say goodbye. That won't be possible, Peterson said. Looking genuinely sorry. We think it's best for both of you if you make a clean break. Best for us, Maya said, her voice breaking, or best for your project? Colonel Davis stood up. Dr. Rodriguez, I understand you're upset, but you need to understand the bigger picture here. This alien has advanced technology that could benefit our national security. We can't let personal feelings interfere with that. Maya realized with horror what they were really planning. You're not just going to study her, are you? You're going to take her technology and then what? Keep her locked up forever. The silence in the room told Maya everything she needed to know. Her heart broke thinking of Zara, who had trusted humans enough to come here peacefully, being treated like a prisoner instead of a guest. I won't let you do this, Maya said quietly. You don't have a choice, Mr. Chen replied. Security will escort you off the premises in 1 hour. Your access has been revoked, and you signed confidentiality agreements that legally prevent you from discussing any of this with anyone. Maya looked around the room at these 3 people who were about to destroy the most beautiful thing that had ever happened to her. You have no idea what you're throwing away, do you? Zara came here because her people are dying from the same coldness you're showing right now. She came here to learn how to feel, how to connect, how to love, and she succeeded. But instead of celebrating that miracle, you're going to lock her away and steal from her. That's enough, Colonel Davis said. Officer Thompson will escort you to collect your personal items. As Maya was led out of the office, her mind was racing. She had 1 hour before they kicked her out of the facility. 1 hour to figure out how to help Zara. 1 hour to save the being who had taught her what it meant to truly care about someone. Walking back to her office under guard, Maya tried to think of any way to contact Zara or help her escape. But the facility was locked down tight, and Maya knew that even if she could reach Zara, where would they go? How could a human scientist and an alien being disappear in a world where everyone would be looking for them? But as Maya packed her few personal belongings into a cardboard box, she remembered something Zara had said just a few days earlier. The most important discoveries require courage to face the unknown. Maya had never thought of herself as particularly brave. She was a quiet researcher who liked predictable routines and safe choices. But Zara had changed all of that. Zara had shown her that some things were worth taking risks for. As Officer Thompson waited by the door, Maya made a decision that would change both their lives forever. She wasn't going to let them take Zara away without a fight. She didn't know how yet, but somehow, she was going to find a way to save the alien woman who had taught her how to love. The clock on her office wall showed she had 43 minutes left. 43 minutes to come up with a plan that seemed impossible. But as Maya looked at the small photo on her desk, a picture of the sunrise Zara loved to watch every morning, she knew she had to try. Maya knew she had only one chance to save Zara, and it was the most dangerous thing she had ever considered doing in her entire life. As Officer Thompson escorted her toward the exit, Maya's mind was working frantically to remember everything she knew about the facility's layout and security systems. Officer Thompson, Maya said as they walked down the hallway, could we stop by the restroom? It's been a very emotional day. Thompson looked annoyed but nodded. Make it quick, Doc. Maya went into the restroom and immediately pulled out her phone. She had memorized the emergency codes for different sections of the building during her security training. If she could trigger a fire alarm in the opposite wing, it might draw security away from Zara's area long enough for Maya to reach her. Her hands were shaking as she typed a text message to her friend Jake, who worked in the building's maintenance department. Emergency and lab wing C need immediate attention. Systems showing fire alert. She hit send and prayed Jake would respond quickly. When Maya came out of the restroom, Thompson was checking his radio. Within minutes, alarms started blaring throughout the building. Fire alert in Wing C came the announcement over the speakers. All non-essential personnel evacuate immediately. Thompson looked torn between his duty to escort Maya out and his responsibility to respond to the emergency. Dr. Rodriguez, I need to help with the evacuation. You go straight to the exit, understood? Of course, Maya said, trying to sound calm. I'll head right out. But the moment Thompson disappeared around the corner, Maya ran in the opposite direction. She knew the building better than most of the security guards, and she used every shortcut. In back corridors she could remember to reach Zara's wing. Her heart was pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears as she swiped her emergency access card. At Zara's door, she had never been so relieved to hear the soft beep of acceptance. Zara was standing by the window, her skin glowing with agitation and worry. When she saw Maya, her face transformed with relief and joy. Maya, I was so frightened. They told me you would not be coming back, that I was being moved to another place tonight. I know, Maya said, rushing to Zara's side. That's why I'm here. We need to leave, right now. Leave? Zara looked confused. But where will we go? Your people will search for us everywhere. I don't know, Maya admitted, but I know what they're planning to do to you isn't right. They want to take your technology and keep you locked up forever. That's not why you came here. Zara's expression grew sad. I received another communication from my home world today. They have ordered me to return immediately. They say I have been gone too long and that my reports show I have become emotionally unstable. Maya felt her heart breaking. Are you going to go back? If I return now, they will likely punish me for developing feelings. But if I stay here, your government will imprison me. Zara reached out and took Maya's hands. Either choice means I will lose you. Not necessarily. Maya said, an idea forming in her mind. Zara, what if there was a third option? What if we didn't have to choose between your world and mine? What do you mean? Maya looked into Zara's beautiful, alien eyes and made the bravest decision of her life. What if we left both worlds behind and created our own? You have a ship, right? You have technology that could take us anywhere in the universe. Zara's eyes widened. Maya, you cannot be serious. You would leave your entire life, your planet, your species, to be with me? My life doesn't mean anything without you in it. Maya said, and she meant every word. These past few months with you have been the happiest I've ever been. You've shown me what it means to truly connect with someone, to care about someone more than yourself. But Maya, if we leave together, we can never come back. You would be giving up everything you have ever known. Maya smiled, feeling more certain than she had ever felt about anything. Zara, you asked me months ago if I could help you understand what satisfaction really means. I think I finally know the answer. What is it? Satisfaction isn't about having everything you want. It's about finding the one thing that makes everything else unimportant. And that's what you are to me. Tears of liquid light began flowing down Zara's cheeks. Maya, what you are offering, it is the most beautiful gift anyone has ever given me. But I cannot ask you to sacrifice your entire world for me. You're not asking, Maya said, wiping away Zara's glowing tears. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing us. And I'm choosing a future where we can be together without anyone trying to separate us. The fire alarms were still blaring, and Maya knew they didn't have much time before security realized the alarm was false and came looking for them. Zara, your ship. Can you call it here? Zara nodded, her expression becoming determined. Yes. But Maya, once we leave, there will be no going back. Are you absolutely certain this is what you want? Maya looked around the sterile room where they had spent so many hours learning about love and connection. Then she looked at Zara, whose skin was glowing brighter with emotion and hope. I've never been more certain of anything in my life, Maya said. Zara closed her eyes and seemed to communicate with her ship telepathically. Within minutes, they could hear a low humming sound outside the window. A beautiful, crystalline vessel appeared, hovering silently in the darkness. The ship will create an opening in the wall, Zara explained. But once we step aboard, we become fugitives from both our worlds. Maya took Zara's hands in hers. Then we'll be fugitives together, as the crystal ship extended a bridge of light toward their window. Maya realized that this was what Zara had been searching for all along. Not just physical touch or emotional connection, but the willingness to risk everything for love. They stepped together onto the bridge of light, leaving behind everything they had known for the infinite possibilities of the universe. As Earth grew smaller behind them, Maya understood that sometimes the greatest satisfaction comes not from finding what you're looking for, but from having the courage to choose love over safety. "Where should we go?" Maya asked as they settled into the ship's beautiful interior. Zara smiled, her skin glowing with happiness and contentment. "Anywhere we can be together, for the first time in centuries. I finally understand what it means to be truly satisfied, not because someone has touched my heart, but because I found the courage to touch yours." As their ship disappeared into the starlit darkness, two beings from different worlds began their greatest adventure together, learning that love isn't about finding someone to complete you, but about finding someone worth sharing your completeness with.